There are some things you read or hear that punch you right in the gut. Perhaps it's a coworker email or something that's sad on your social media page or an offhand comment your friend throws at you. The problem is, you took it personally. And honestly, that's what happens to all of us. What if you could stop letting all that stuff get under your skin? As noted by the University of California, Berkeley, nearly 90% of what we get angry about isn't even about us in the first place. It's their thoughts or insecurity, even as bad as it might have been for that other person. If you are sick and tired of carrying all that baggage as far as what was said, then it's time you learned how not to take it personally. We all have that person in our life who is so constantly critical, judgmental, or cold that you can begin to feel that everything they are saying is at your expense. But the reality is, it is not the majority of the time. Think of a boss who seems never to care about all your hard work. It's easy, isn't it, to simply think that they just don't appreciate you? But what if their coldness is less about you and more about their own stress, pressure from their boss, or the demands of the job? How many times have you assumed that someone's actions or words were a direct attack on you? Maybe your friend cancels plans at the last minute, and you immediately think they don't like you anymore. Or your partner's quiet mood makes you feel like you've done something wrong. We make these assumptions because we want certainty. The bottom line is, however, that we really do not know what is happening in a person's life. Taking things personally often entails getting caught up into our emotions. We feel hurt, angry, or rejected, and suddenly, our emotional state takes over our logical thinking. This makes it next to impossible to see things from another's perspective. Here's an exercise that can help. When you feel triggered by someone's words or actions, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is this person really trying to communicate? We all see the world from a different side of the lens, as shaped by our upbringing, culture, past experience, and even our personality. This means that what would have normally been considered an innocent comment to one person might be read as an insult by another. Take the case of social media. A person may post a comment for or against a particular policy, and before you know it, someone else has become defensive. This is not about you, it's about their own view being challenged. It is easy to assume that other people should be as tuned into our feelings as we are. But truthfully, many people just aren't paying attention to our emotional state. Maybe they just had a lot going on, or maybe they are not as organized as you are. When we stop expecting other people to constantly be aware of our emotional needs, we free ourselves from the burden of feeling let down. That we are hard on ourselves is probably the biggest reason we take things personally. For if we are not feeling great about who we are, then what criticism or even adverse feedback is essentially an attack upon our character. Remember, when something happens and it feels so personal, you are just enough. And if someone attacks your work, remember that does not define who you are as a person. It helps you to step back a little, take a few steps away, and look at the bigger picture if what's going on feels personal. What's important to you in this moment? Is it to keep this relationship, or is it your own peace of mind? You will see that you are now freeing yourself from this emotional merry-go-round of taking things to heart, and you'll feel much more confident, resilient, and in control of your own happiness. Not everything's about you, after all. Take a deep breath, and select your response very carefully. Reclaim your peace of mind.